All right. Welcome, everyone. We are live. Check on levels. Yeah, everything looks good. Happy Wednesday. Yes, it's Wednesday. Welcome back to the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Odum, and we are going to jump right in it today because we are going to start building our first template that we're going to have on Pixel Pieces, which of course is going to be our brand spanking new Webflow component and template library. So what do we want to do? So yesterday we did go over the client first documentation, and we decided that this is going to be the framework that we're going to use to start developing our components and our templates. So we're going to do that. So there's going to be a little bit of a slower curve here as we go doing this the first time, and yeah, we're just going to get started. Hey Kevin, how you doing? Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good one. So yeah, we're gonna get into this client first. So this should be interesting. So yeah, like I said, I think it's going to go maybe a little bit slow at first, just because I haven't used this before, but that's okay. We'll keep going. And yeah, we're not gonna start by just cutting and pasting their code. We're going to kind of just do this by hand and kind of develop it our own, just so we can get a feel for exactly what is going to be in there. Probably going to be duplicating a lot of time and effort, but that's okay, because I think, again, for me, I want to be able to know these components and these templates like inside out, right? Like the back of my hand. So we're going to try to hand code as much as we can, just to pretty much actually hand code everything, just so we can just have a really good command of the lay of the land, so that whenever we have any updates or changes or whatever the case may be, that we're good to go. So, oh my goodness, this sparkling water. Okay, it's all bubbly. So one thing, so there's all this paste structure stuff. So, okay, let's actually bring out, we did have our demo. Let's bring, I don't know whether this name is going to stick, but I remember back in the day of WordPress, I would always use, you basically strip down WordPress into like this naked theme. So it'd be like Naked Press or whatever. So I just decided we'll call this one, at least for now anyways, Nakedflow. So like just a naked Webflow theme, right? So it's basically a bare-boned, full-on site with, your basic navigation, CMS, whatever it is that we're going to end up putting in here. But then it's like, it will be a good framework for you to start building, a website. So yeah, so that's what we're going to call it. At least, again, maybe just for now. Maybe we'll change it if it's a little bit too silly, but whatever. Okay, so I just want to go into, can you have two designers open at the same time in the same browser? I think you can. Okay. So do they do anything to the body? They don't add anything to the body styles. Okay. So we have the global styles here. Hang on a second. I've been trying to push the term naked for you, for how you order coffee when it's no cream, milk, or sugar. Because when I order black, I still get asked if I want anything in it. Really? So someone's like, I have a black coffee. It's like, do you want anything in it? Well, if I did, maybe I'd call it double then, wouldn't I? I just want a naked coffee, please. Thank you very much. That should work. Give it a try. We'll see what happens. I'll give it a try too. It's a bit funny though. I actually don't drink coffee, but my wife drinks coffee. So if I ever get her a coffee, I'll be like, give me a naked coffee, please. Okay. So yeah, what's in their global styles again? And oh yeah, this stupid button's not working. Open code. So let's copy this, and I guess we're going to want to create our own component. This global styles is just an embed form. So let's go in here and create our embed form. Let's paste this. Okay, what do we have here? I gotta have the right indenting first, or that's gonna drive me insane. Okay, sorry, I'll make this as big as I can here. Okay, I like that. Okay, we'll have to take a look at that color to see what that is. Yeah, I think there's going to be some more resets that I know that I'm going to want to make. Okay, I'm going to have to see about that. I don't think I will ever use this. Don't know if I'll ever use any of these. So the paddings and the margins are something that I'm going to have to get really used to in terms of how this template uses the paddings and margins. Okay, we'll just leave it as is now, and we want to make that into a symbol, right? So let's create new, we're going to call it global style sheet. I guess we can go global styles. We'll keep the name consistent, even though I like global style sheet better, but well, styles, yeah, that works. Okay. And so client first again. Can I bring up, right. So we got that page wrapper. Oh, page wrapper is even first, eh? Okay. So with the page wrapper, does that have any styling associated with it? It has nothing, eh? And then that's just going to be a simple div tag, I do believe. And then if we go in here, we're going to create another one. And I think that's main wrapper. And that should be probably a main tag. Make sure we have good HTML structure, which is, it's always the thing that I worry about the most when using a framework, is to make sure that the HTML structure is still has good semantics. So we have main wrapper. Okay, here's the thing. So we have main wrapper, then we have our sections. Then inside our sections, we have, that's when we put in the padding and the container. Okay. Now, how does that work? So if we want full screen, it's all going to be in there. And then we have the padding within each individual section. Okay, so we're not going to put a padding into the overall like page wrapper. I guess you can if you really want to. So this makes sure that we can have different sections within our website that'll have different widths depending on the design. Okay, so that makes sense. So I like that. So we got section hero. Let me put this on the side. If I see this, oh, it's gonna be, I need more monitors. I have 2. I need like 3 at least. Okay. So in the main wrapper, well, it says we want a section. So let's just leave it here for now, as we don't know what this section, I guess we could just have section header. That's probably how we want to start. Then we want padding global. Yeah, this is going to take some getting used to. I don't necessarily like to apply a main padding global. Okay, so padding global. Let's look at here for a second. No, it's here, I think. Attributes? No. Yes, no. Client first. Folders. I guess it's in utility and padding. And padding global, where is it? Right here. So can we see, well, we can see what, I need to see the settings. Make a selection. Okay, there it is. So it's 2.5 REM. So I mean, that's, so if we go in here, we go utility class, we go padding, and then padding global. And this is, oh no, this should allow us. So we can edit the name. But we can't edit the attributes from within here, from within the style guide, from what it looks like. Let's go in here, client first, folders, padding, global. Well, that just copies it. Elements edit effects. Right. So with each body, this is where we do need to put something, right? Like if we set within the body, let's see what this does. Yeah, okay, it does set this. Interesting. It sets the typography or the size at 1 REM and the height at 1.5. Interesting. I'm curious why this isn't set to 16 pixels. Because if this is set to 16 pixels, then that's the base size of every element in the project. And then everything goes from there. So that if I wanted to increase the size of everything, you know, if I set it to 24 pixels, that should increase the size of everything. Oh, but it's not. Interesting. Why is this not? Because that's 6 REM. That should be increasing at the same time as I increase the size of the body. Well, interesting. And this one doesn't have a size. Interesting. I could be wrong about this, but my understanding of how, when you're using relative units, is that you need to set the HTML to a specific size. So in this case, say we set it to 16 pixels, and then we set our height to probably something like 24. And then that's the baseline size of everything. So then when you have something, let's just throw this in here real quick here. You have your heading 1, and then you have it, whatever, 3 REMs, and then the height is the same thing, 3. Then when you adjust your body, then it should adjust the heading, which it's not. So I thought it would be relative to, oh, that's if it's just, I guess it's just, no, if it's just EMs. Maybe I'm confusing myself. All right, heading. All H1 headings. Mm-hmm. All right. Right, it's just EMs. Right, okay. So then if it's just REMs, then it just goes, I think, by by default, it's just saying 1 REM is 16 pixels. Okay. So then that's fair enough. So then we'll just go 1, then 1.5. Okay. Delete. No, delete's not deleting. Get rid of you. Okay. So paddings. Let's say we make this something like that for our global padding. And then what else do we need? That's in our main section. Then we have our containers. So how many different, let's put it in here. Core structure. So container. Unified global container system for content on the page. All or most page content could go inside the container class. So what do we have? Just container, large, medium, small. Let's see. There should be containers. Container large. Headings, buttons. There's nothing here for containers. All right, let's have a look at, oh yeah, in here. See what they have for defaults. I would imagine there's small, medium, large, but container, small, medium, large, right. I wish I could click in here and then have it show up in the style editor, right? So I can see the actual properties, or in this case, the settings, if I want to use Webflow's correct terminology. So if I go here, folders, utility classes, container, no affected elements on this page. So I can't see what the properties are because it's not here. Okay, so this is container medium. Okay, so all the containers are center aligned, which would make sense. Actually, let's go to the style guide. I think in here should be another container. Container large, 80 REMs. Okay, and this is something I would imagine that we want to put in the documentation somewhere where somebody can understand how to have the different sizing of their containers. Yeah, here we go. Container large, medium, and small. Maybe what this should be first is, instead of jumping right into the theme, is we should just finalize our style guide. Maybe that'll be the best way to go, which is basically going to be like kind of copying this thing, but putting our own little spin on it if we need to. That might be the better way to go. All right, let's go to our dashboard again, and let's look at let's open our initial style guide that we started working on a while ago before we decided to use any type of library, or what's the right word? Not library. Framework. Okay, we don't have anything for container, which is okay. All right. Interesting. They have theirs a little bit different. They have a padding global, but then a padding section large. So why don't they have their padding global and then putting the padding on the inside? That's interesting. Is that following their own convention? Although they have this right here. Create top and bottom padding inside of a section. Interesting. Interesting why they did it that way. Huh, they reversed it from what their style guide says to do. Okay, so we got padding. Let's go back to core structure. Right. So inside here, we need a container. We're just going to throw that for starters. And then in the container, what do we want inside the container? Then I think it's padding section. Oh, in here. Go another div. Padding section, like large, as an example. Okay. I'm going to duplicate this. We're going to call this style guide. Yeah, we're going to create that page. H1. And what are we going to say? Nakedflow. Welcome to a bare bones Webflow template ready for your amazing design. Default font. Now there's something interesting to think about. Now I use Typekit generally. Actually now I'm kind of getting into the process of just buying my own fonts. So then I'm trying to get out of the process of having as less monthly subscription services as humanly possible, because those fees just kind of add up, and I just don't like not owning my shit. So I want to try to avoid that. But that being said, not everyone is going to be using Typekit. So I think maybe we should go with a Google font, or maybe even, what fonts do they even have here? They have web fonts. They have some Google fonts. Maybe have like Roboto or something like that as a default. Add Google fonts. I wonder if I guess if I buy a custom font, I can't really just add it in for everyone else to have in a theme, unless you buy like a commercial license. So let's add a Google font, I guess.
When it comes to font selection, sometimes Times New Roman just won't cut it, and perhaps you're having second thoughts as to what is ready to use. From your project settings, you can head over to Fonts. If you want to browse before you make a decision, click the link over to your right to visit the Google.
So you just select it from from here, I guess. Where would it be? Fonts. Oh yeah, this is all different. Okay. Google Fonts. So let's just go in the variants that we want. These are good questions. What fonts do we want in this list? Because we want like the font weights. Well, we definitely want italic. We're definitely going to want bold as a minimum. Let's just add this for now, and then let's just see how this works. And then we'll go from there. So body, font. It's not here. Do we need to refresh? Refresh, hello. Control Shift R. Okay, body, font. There it is. Roboto 400. Ooh, colors. We're gonna have to think of colors as well too. Okay. Right, so basically, this is what I was thinking, is that you're gonna have Nakedflow. This is gonna be the theme, which is basically going to be the style guide, which is going to have everything. It's going to have a little bit more because we're going to do things with variables as well too. We're going to do variables, and we're going to do, well, variables for color, variables for typography, rounded corners, all that kind of stuff. We're going to have that. And then so when the colors are, people can go into their swatches and go ahead and update their variables right through here. When this little style selection, I think can you edit things here? No, you still can't. Yeah, so we'll add those variables, and then like that's all going to be in the style guide, but the Nakedflow is just going to be taking the style guide and implementing it into different components that are all going to be put together into one thing. So that's kind of the thought process. So that, yeah, well, let's build out the style guide on here, and then we're going to put that in its own little project as well too, its own little Webflow project, and then we're going to be bringing that into every single other project or component that we make. So, right, so here's our home. So yeah, that's our heading. And one thing I do know, let's do some variables. I know that we're gonna do. So color, first off, well, that's white. So let's just do white, which is just that. And we're definitely going to have black. Oh, we got to actually call it. That's the variable. Right. That's the variable name. Okay. And in fact, all of the things that are small, medium, and large, that should probably be its own variable as well. Now that I think about it, let's take a look. So like this padding global, it's 2.5. So if somebody wants to update any of these fields when they're using the theme, then it's best to go into this variable component place, and then they could update everything through here as opposed to updating the styles. Because when you're looking at your styles, whether it's through this client first panel or you're looking at it through here, you can't actually go in and change them from here. So we'll have everything changeable, editable through the variables panel. Yeah, that makes much more sense to me. Much more sense. So that's going to be good. Hey Ninja, how you doing? Welcome. Hopefully you're having a good one. We're all plugging away here today, so doing good. So let's create a new variable and we'll do a size one. And this one, we're going to call it padding global. So we'll give it the same name as the actual, class name. So we have that being 3 REM. And then I got that stupid, what's that song, 3 AM? It's like a Matthew Good song or somebody. It's 3 AM. I must be sleeping. I don't know who sings that. Anyways. Is it Matthew Good? Oh, no, it's going to kill me. It's going to kill me. What the hell is the name of that song? It's Closing Time. Closing Time by some band. Okay, where were we? Where am I? All over the place. Okay, so we go in here. It's not Our Lady Peace. 4A, is it Our Lady Peace? Huh. Okay. Why am I thinking Matthew Good? Anyways, yeah, Our Lady Peace. Navid is still my all-time favorite. I remember when that song came out. Oh, I love that song. I am thinking of a different song then, am I? Yeah, it's 4 a.m. I must be lonely. Da, 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 da. And then it's a 3 a.m. It's like closing time. One more call for alcohol. Blah, 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 blah. Something like that. Obviously, my singing is horrible. Anyways, I get off track so quickly. Okay, so padding global. And instead of doing this here, we put it as an actual variable, right? All right. So if this ends up being how we want it to be, it's going to be even better than the client first, in the sense that at least it's going to be switched over exactly what they have, but having it with dynamic variables. So like updated. So that's going to be really good. Because this is awesome. So again, if you update this here, it's going to update every single style on the style panel. But by updating it here and have all your variables right here, it's going to be so much better. Can you change their their positioning? It looks like you can't, which kind of sucks because I would like to have them be in a different different order, like have all the sizing in one order and have all the colors. Maybe these guys will come up with something that allow me to change the order. Color, you could update the color swatch, the CSS styles reorder. Doesn't have any swatches. Interesting. Oh, that kind of sucks, but hey. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I get distracted too easily sometimes. Okay, well, we'll have to worry about that when we get there, I guess, in terms of how this variable panel looks. So we might just want to redo things or what have you when they're done. I don't know, until we can figure out how we could actually reorder this. Okay. All right, and we had one other thing we were working on. Stop collapsing. There has to be a shortcut key to like expand all. Components. Expand panel section. Which panel? Alt click. Is that the right one? So alt click. Well, that's going to expand this one. If I close it. Oh, I guess I can. Wait, hang on. That doesn't expand everything though. That just expands this one. Shortcut keys. Keyboard shortcut. Expand collapse navigator elements. Alt Z. Alt Z. Alt Z. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. But just, oh no, it's working on everything. Okay, cool. Alt Z. I gotta remember that. Okay, padding section large. Then container large. So let's say, let's go into our variables again. Well, we could have a new one here. We could have padding. Right. So padding large. Oh, say something like this. Let me take a look at this. Which one do I want? Not close this. Right here. Client first. Oh, they need to update the UI of this because it's all the old coloring. Because I'm like, oh, why is this so light? Folders, utility, padding. They have different paddings. So they have different styles. Let me look here. Search. Just edit out. Can I just see the padding? Okay, padding. So that's giving padding on everything. Padding custom, okay. And there's no regular padding, like padding regular. It's just padding medium. So padding small, medium, large. So let's go padding extra small, 0.5. Padding small, 1 REM. Padding medium, 2. What's with the gear icon? Oh, cool. It shows you what the CSS property is like. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's cool. Padding large, 3. And then we got padding extra large. And then we have, let's say that one's going to be 4.5. How should we? Yeah. And then say, we'll just go padding double X large, and go 6. Okay. So that's our padding. We're probably going to want the same thing, but for margin, I would imagine, right? Yeah, our margins are going to be the same thing. So let's do that one. Oh, new variable. Oh, margin extra small. 0.5. Margin small. Margin medium. Sorry about that. This writing is really small. Try to up that as much as I can. Keep forgetting. Margin large. Margin extra large. 4.5. And then margin double XL. Okay, so we got our padding and our margins. And if we go, I think we also, is there not a style for just regular padding? There isn't, eh? All right, padding top left. Right, because if you want a padding top, all of these are set to 0, and then you just add a padding small, medium, large, or whatever size. Okay. So let's go to, so we just need to create some classes here, I think. So padding top, let's create that one. Where this is definitely, we want to throw zeros here. Okay, so that's padding top, padding bottom, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Padding left. Left is on the left side. And then padding right. 0, 0, and 0. I think that should be there. Yeah. Padding top, bottom, left, right. So this container large, so what we want to do is set, I mean, are we setting our margins? No. Sorry, container large, right? Containers. Oh, it'd be nice if we can set all of our containers. So I think it's the containers that we set to auto, right? And then width is 100%. And then whatever the max width of the container is. I think that's how the style guide goes. Let's just take a quick look here. Container large, yeah, width, okay. So what we're going to want to do is create a few more variables. Let's go container large and set that to, it's a good breaking point. So let me get a calculator. So what would be large, like 1440 maybe, times, no, not times, divided by 16, right? So it would be like 90 REMs. So 90. And go container medium. I don't know. Go 60. That might be too small, especially when you're adding in all the paddings, which we should actually put in the border box of 0, so the padding goes on the outside of the box, not on the inside of the box. And what is that? Actually, let me look at some code here. And oh shit, what is all this? All this jQuery stuff. And that is just all up in there. Let's go box sizing. I think that's what we want here. CSS box sizing. Border box. Oops. The width and the height you assign to an element is applied only to the element's content box. Then it's added to the width. Yes, we don't want that. Right, so border box means the padding will go all onto the inside, which is what we want. We want this. So I want this, and that is going to go in our, that's going to go in our, oops, oh, come on. It's going to go in our global styles. Let's edit this. Why isn't this gear icon working? So annoying. Open code in editor. Because that's not here. We're going to put, well, okay, we're going to put all my styles here at the top. And that's also going to have to be in the body. Good. I had, do I have a CSS reset? I know I have some somewhere. Let me just see. It's probably in my old archives. Design and development. I think I'm gonna have to look into my old, really old code base. Will it be my GitHub? Let me see. Okay. Let's look at some files. Sorry, just looking at some old code here. And I'm going to see if I can take a look at some of my style sheets. All right, here's a reset style sheet. And why is it empty? It shouldn't be empty. Can I just see the file? Can I just edit this? Cancel. So why is it empty? Yes, leave. maybe I was redoing all my style sheet. Objects. Oh my goodness. I got rid of it. Why did I get rid of it? Let's see what's going on in here. So I'm just looking to see if I can find like an old reset style sheet that I used to use, which was very minimal, but I loved it. Okay. This code base is completely, it's so messy. And I know I was in the middle of doing a pretty big refactor, but never finished, which would mean there's lots of empty style sheets. This is taking forever. Oh, here's my box sizing, border box. This would just be your regular HTML elements, kind of like a reset a little bit. Scroll for anchor links, yeah. A bunch of variables. I miss writing CSS by hand. So much fun. Okay, forget about that for now. Why did I want to? Oh yeah, I was thinking about resets. Okay, so where am I? Container large, and I wanted to create some variables, which I do. Container large, medium. Yes, and let's just do one for small. Right, I was talking about the border box. Container small. Let's do 40 for now. Thought we can easily update those. Let's go. Yeah, we can go here. Right, Alt Z is it? Yes. So container large, we go into style, and then, our width. Do we want to do that one as a variable as well? Our full width? So container large. So let's just start typing in large, and that's going to be container large. There we go. And our width. I actually kind of like that. So let's do size. And we'll say width full. And that's going to be 100%. We can't use percentages. Oh, that sucks. Well, if we can't use percentages, or what can we do? Font. We could just do size, eh? What's CH stand for? How come we can do everything, but we can't do percentages? We could do pixels, percents. Well, that kind of sucks. Oh well, I guess we can't do percentages, so we'll just do 100%. That's fine. So let's delete this, I guess. Are we sure? Are we sure we can't do? You do everything but percentages. Not sure why. Okay, that's fine. So padding section large. I guess what we want to do. Right. So in the padding sections, are there paddings on top, bottom, left, and right, or just on the left and right in this section? So let's take a look. So we have padding global, padding section large. So that makes sense to me. On the sections, we want our paddings on the top and the bottom. Okay. So if we want paddings on the top and the bottom, so this is padding section large, we're going to have it on the top, and what do we say, large? So padding large, and also, oh, I think I just deleted that by accident. Padding large and padding large. There we go. Okay, we can delete that because we're just using that to name styles. And we have our padding global. Container large. Section header. Whoop. And what do we do to this one? This one isn't doing anything except giving it a kind of a custom color. Another page wrapper. A page wrapper in a page wrapper. That's interesting. Oh, that's just, I think it's just showing what that is. Right. Okay, cool. So, all right, I think we're coming along. Although what we can do is we can create some other paddings, some other styles here. Padding, section, medium. Padding medium. Oh. And medium. Great. And then padding section small. Yeah, this is going to be time consuming, but once it's done, it'll be nice to have. It'll be really nice to have. And let's see. What did I just delete? I can't remember now. Padding section small. So container large. Let's just do container medium. And again, width. We want 100%. Auto. And our max width, container medium. Perfect. Container small. I hope this isn't too boring. This is probably boring. Let me know. Like, do you think is this too boring, guys? Should I would you want to see me continue doing this on the stream, or should I just work all day and night and just have it done, and we can move on to things that are maybe a little bit more exciting? Let me know what you think. Happy to do things either way, because regardless or not, I have to get this done. It's just a question of whether you want to see me do it on stream or not. So container small and margins are auto. Okay. Actually, let's give that a container. Dun, dun, dun. Let's do padding large, I guess. And we're going to do a heading. Pixel pieces style guide. And then text. Welcome to the style guide for pixel pieces. Just dummy text now. We follow the client first approach developed by the great people over at FinSuite. And let me get their URL here. Actually, let's do this right here. That'll be good. There we go. Actually, cut this out here. And this is going to be section. So I guess we want to name this something that makes sense, right? So this is where we can kind of get a little bit more creative, right? So this is section, basically like the style guide, right? So what did these guys call their style guide section? FS style guide component. Oh, they totally went off. This is completely different. Header, classes. That's just a section header. Okay. They just FS style guide component. So they just called it, instead of saying section whatever it was, they're using style guide. And maybe they're just doing that to differentiate themselves from the actual style guide, which is fair, I guess. Oh, they're not using it here either. They're just using home message content. So anyways, we can go here. We can go section like content or section. You could do section style guide, and what do they have here? Alt Z. Other tags. So they're just having different names for their sections, which are not really key to anything. Right. Okay. I think I know what I'll do eventually. So let's go pixel style guide. Oh God. Didn't stick. Pixel style guide content. In fact, we can still, well, Control Alt G. Let's try section content. And then in here, we can start building out things like these different sections. Like, oh, well, here's what the structure looks like. And then here's what the HTML tags look like, which I can kind of, I have some of these things kind of right here, like the headings, paragraphs, block quotes, font sizes, lists, rich text. These are more the elements, I guess I would say. Okay. All right, getting the hang of it. I think, unfortunately, it's only been an hour. I know it's not very long here, but I do have to do some work for a client because tomorrow there's a big event where there's this kind of international event going on, and I got to do all the tech support for it. So I do have to get ready for that. It'd be really cool if I could like do some type of vlogumentary style videos of me actually working with clients, because after all, this whole thing is all about how I'm building a company, you know, and like this template component thing, that's one of it, but the other part of it is actually building an agency that helps with clients. So maybe it'd be really nice to do, if I just had like somebody like Gary Vee has that just follows them around with a camera or something like that, that would be really, really cool. Anyways, but I have to deal with that. So we'll figure out how to get a dedicated cameraman to follow me around at some point. But until then, we'll be back at this tomorrow. So we're going to keep going with developing the style guide. And I think it's going really well. And I'm really happy with it. And I think it's going to be really, really useful for people moving forward. So super excited to develop it and put it out there to the world. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining. Really, really appreciate it. And we'll be back. We'll be plugging away tomorrow. And until then, have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.